Hello, welcome to episode 4 of Please Allow Paul to Teach You Things.
Episode 4, 1 whole month.
This is
Never been this
4
dedicated
weeks?
to anything.
It's pretty impressive.
It is pretty good. Hi, I want to do a corrections corner right up in the front.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Last week I said I got the mid-century brushes. Ooh, where should we go? Right here. Mid-century brushes, these great things from a creator on Cube Brush. No, I got them from Lisa Bardot, and she's on Creative Market, and that's LISABARDOT. She's very good. Get her brushes. Okay, bye.
That's great.
Uh-huh.
So, today, you are going to learn how to make a web page. Actually, now you can see my screen too. So
cool.
If people might have noticed, but it's a little bit of a different look today because instead of just relying on Megan to do all the visuals, I'm actually going to do some computer work because it's hard to draw how to make a web page, but it's relatively easy to show you by just making one with a computer. So I wanted to just do kind of like the most basic web page, and we'll just sort of build from there.
Excellent.
So,
what is your basic web page idea?
I've got a folder on my desktop.
Okay.
Called Cool New Website.
Cool new website. What's gonna go there?
I'm gonna make a new document. And text editor in on the Mac, it automatically does a rich text file. So I'm going to make it plain text.
I know, it's terrible.
So I don't know, what should the web page be?
Let's make it like a little about me page.
Okay.
About you. About Paul.
About Paul. About Paul. And that's really small text. Let's see. Can we H1 about Paul /H1.
All right. What's the H1s do?
Well, you're about to learn.
Ooh, so excited.
So I'm going to save this as index.html. All right. And then in the cool new website folder, save it. I'm going to say I'm fine with using .html.
Okay.
So that is a file right here.
Okay.
I'm going to put it onto my web browser.
Whoa.
Look at that. I made a website.
That is so good.
I'm done. That's like a speed run.
I could go to GoDaddy.com and register aboutpaul.com. And I could make that the website now.
Yes, you could. I'm going to show you.
Oh, wait, I would need hosting.
I'm going to show you how I do hosting as well.
Ooh.
Because it's not enough to just make a website. You want to share it with the world.
Yeah.
So I use.
You don't want to make it just for yourself.
I mean, you could.
Here's all about me.
I use this thing called Zeit Now.
Zeit Now. ZEIT.
Yes.
Like as in zeitgeist.
Oh, I bet that's what it means.
Probably like.
Yes.
I don't know what the zeit is in zeitgeist. Geist is ghost though, right? Because poltergeist.
Ooh.
Polter is knock.
Oh, zeitgeist is like the spirit of the age or something like that, right?
Yeah. There we go.
Good work. Okay,
Thanks.
So I got my cool new website.
We both took a few years of German, so I think we know everything.
I've got this folder called Cool New Website.
Cool.
I'm going to just drag it into this application.
All right.
Right?
Now what?
I don't know. Nothing happened.
Uh-oh.
Hey, there it is.
Oh, and it's secure.
Yeah. https://coolnewwebsite hyphen KTEQBNABMV.now.sh.
Oh no, that's a little too long.
So what this is they just deployed it to basically like a development URL, right? Like this is, so as I'm working, so let's say I want to make some changes to my website.
Okay.
So like, what if there is actual information about Paul? So like, I don't know, what's a fact?
You think a lot?
Think a lot.
Oh wait.
True. All right.
Wait. I don't know if this works. I can say something else. Second, smart.
Whoa. I'm going to get a big head. 2, smart.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And third, seems kind of sad.
True. All right. So now we have 3 facts, and I put each of these in a paragraphs. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll explain all this. I just wanted to get everybody up and running so they feel, really engaged, like this is working.
Oh, yeah.
So like before, I could just I could double click this or drag it to my web browser, right? And the web browser
that
will
says
open that.
think a lot, not thinks a lot.
Think a lot.
I don't want you to get.
Thinks.
I don't want people to write in.
Thinks a lot. True. Smart. True. Seems kind of sad. True. All right. Now, I can also deploy that to Zeit now, right? Or I just drag and drop it over here.
Okay.
It'll take a little and think about it. Now, this is at a new URL, right? Before it was cool website hyphen KTEQ. Now it's at hyphen UHK BQQTQS.
Oh, so it changed.
Yeah, so it's changed. So what you do is with Zeit, I'm going to go to my Zeit dashboard. Let's see. So I've got my cool new website. Right, where did it go? All right. So I got my cool new website on the Zeit dashboard. And what I can do is I can take one of these deployments, right? So each one is a snapshot. It's a whole new world, and it continues to exist. But I'll take my most recent one, and then what I do is I create an alias. And now, if I own a domain name on Zeit, or if I've ported a domain name to Zeit, and they have instructions to do all that, and we can get into that further.
Okay.
I could just put the domain name. So like one of the domain names I own right now on Zeit is for Calculator 2.
Okay.
Which is a project that has been in the works for a while, right? But it's not ready, so I don't mind. I can alias my new about page to Calculator 2, calculator2.com. Now I create the alias. Aliasing. We have successfully aliased cool new website hyphen. So this had that weird URL. Now it's at calculator2.com.
Okay.
So now if I refresh calculator2.com,
it's going to be I hope you saved whatever.
I have saved.
Oh, phew.
That's all local. So let's see. It's still
worried.
waiting. Hey, about Paul. So now if you go to calculator2.com, as of exactly this recording, because I'm sure I'll change this back to Calculator 2.
Wait, I have a question. Calculator2.com wasn't already taken?
No.
I feel like that's a really good get.
Right? That's what I think. So thank you, Megan, for appreciating how great of a get that is.
I don't know, that's pretty cool.
So now Calculator 2. So I've made a website, right? I coded it up in my text editor.
Sure did.
I previewed it in my web browser, and then I deployed it to Zeit now, which is a real annoying name for a service. Whatever, it works really well. And then I aliased a domain name that I own on Zeit, and you can also buy a new domain name using Zeit. I aliased the domain to that deployment, and now I have a live web page on the internet. Wow. So now we're going to do some more HTML, maybe a little bit of CSS and stuff, but I just want to give people a taste of success.
Okay. What if I can't host at Zeit?
Why can't you?
I don't know.
Well,
is Zeit free?
Zeit is free up until a certain amount of usage.
Oh. So I could host at Zeit.
Did pull up if you start Googling where do I host my website, all of the results are spam because of affiliate marketing. It's impossible to find good information about hosting.
Okay.
Now, you can't really trust me either.
Okay.
I might be secretly like an affiliate marketer as well.
Oh.
But here are my recommendations of things that I've either used or seen used by a lot of people for very simple websites like we're making right here.
Right.
GitHub pages. If you have a GitHub account, you can do GitHub pages and publish your website like that. And that's one way, right?
Okay.
Free, works. Lots of people use it to host their personal websites. Netlify. I don't know if Netlify has a free hosting,
Uh-huh.
but it has got to get started for free at least. But a lot of people use it for simple websites. It can be a little more expensive for the paid plans, but it's very popular. Firebase. Firebase is owned by Google. Firebase hosting is really easy to use if you know how to use the command line. One of the nice things about all of these is like when you publish a website, you get like the HTTPS, you get that nice green lock.
Oh,
I
like security.
They make it easy to work with domain names. So I like all of these, but the one I actually use myself, and this is why I wanted to show it to people, is Zeit's.
Zeit.co. .co.
Yep, Zeit.co/now. And one of the nice things is if you go to, let's see, it's Zeit.co/download.
Mm-hmm.
If you download, instead of having to use the command line, which a lot of the other ones need, you just get this little application that runs up in your menu bar, and it also runs on Linux and Mac.
Oh, okay.
And so that way you can just do those drag and drop deployments, which is nice if you don't want to get your hands dirty with the terminal, which we will. By the end of this episode, you will be basically a professional terminal user.
Oh, so excited about that.
But if you're scared of that, you want to do your first website without touching the terminal, you can do it using Zeit.
Okay.
So.
Wait, we should actually cut this part out, but at the very end of this episode, we should tell people to make their own websites and then post them in the comments.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. I don't know why we need to cut that out.
Well, I'll say it at the end.
Okay.
Or now.
Yeah, you can say it right now.
You know what? I just actually say it right now. I just feel like it was a real stroke of genius, and I really want to see what people come up with because I'm gonna make something too.
Please make a website. Please put it in the comments. I'll tweet people's websites for sure because I'm very excited to see what you guys create.
Oh, so good.
With the limited amount of knowledge I'm about to convey to you.
They're gonna be real fun.
Okay. So let's
I'm gonna use it as a professional portfolio.
Good. So let's get back to the basics though, right? What is a web page?
What is a web page?
If you learned about the web, you know HTTP is the hypertext transfer protocol, right? HTTPS just means secure. It's hypertext transfer protocol securely, I bet, is what this is actually for. I would assume. I think it's.
I don't know.
I know it denotes security. I don't know what the actual acronym means now. So hypertext, right? What's hypertext? Well, HTML is hypertext markup language. So HTML is a way to write hypertext. HTTPS is a way to transfer hypertext, right? So what is hypertext? Well, one way to think of it is it's text with links. That's what makes it hyper, is that the fact that it's got links between things and references to so we should make a link to something.
Okay.
So like for instance,
what is the HREF? What does that stand for? Okay.
Hypertext
Reference. Did you just say that? Because I was drawing, so I wasn't really. I was like,
no, I didn't say that. I literally
Dang
just learned that today. Yeah, and you just figured it out.
Wait, what's the A stand for then?
Anchor.
Anchor. I've been using this for like, how old am I? Old enough. I've been using this for like more than 12 years.
Yeah.
And I've never had any idea what it's meant until this exact moment.
You know how I learned these things?
I'm so excited. How'd you learn them?
I went to Mozilla's HTML basics web page.
I love that.
It has a lot of basic information. Hey. This site is
What does
busted.
div stand for?
I think it's division.
Oh.
What is HTML?
Oh, I love. Oh, my cat is very grumpy. How'd they know?
So, anyways, you can learn
My cat is
one
a
thing when you
great
start
content.
Googling around for HTML
Mm-hmm.
tutorial, CSS, how to, that kind of stuff. What you see a lot is W3 schools. And no offense, W3 schools, but you're not as good as Mozilla's developer network,
Oh,
MDN.
ooh.
So
Oh, shots fired.
when you see stuff on Google, I gravitate towards Mozilla's references on how to do things instead of W3 schools.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, we're going to add a link. So href hbs / Paul J Miller. Actually, you know what? I haven't moved my Paul J Miller site over yet.
You're not safe yet. Nobody visit it. You're gonna get
This is
so
very dangerous
much
link.
malware.
My actual blog /a. All right.
Oh.
So anchor, A for anchor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Opening tag.
opening bracket to
Mm-hmm.
say this is an HTML tag.
Oh, okay.
So, because what HTML is parsed by the web browser. The web browser looks at this and it's like, okay, so H1,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make everything after this really big.
H1 header.
Header 1. Header 1 is the
Header
biggest
1.
header.
Because then later on when you're building like the style, so when you use the style tags and you do the reference points for header 1, and then you put in the header, and then you put in like it's referencing that, and then you're like font and size and blah blah.
There's so much.
All of this I knew how it worked in my brain,
Mm-hmm.
but like now it's what I kind of have words for it almost.
So I think these are tags, HTML's tags, right?
Uh-huh.
So you start H1, so bracket, H1, close bracket.
Uh-huh.
Then everything after that bracket is an H1 until
You close that bracket.
you close that
Oh,
bracket.
awesome.
And then now I'm going to start a different, so I'll save this and open this back up over here.
Ooh. Oh, link to your
About
actual
Paul.
blog.
Right? So now H2, there's a smaller header, then close that.
Mm-hmm.
Paragraph, start a paragraph, close a paragraph. And so it just tells the browser how to render each thing. And now for this,
Okay.
right? So if you have A, right, for anchor, it should still show. Oh wait, it doesn't show as a link. Huh. You could not have it linked to anything.
Paul,
I'm
I'm sorry. I just found out on Procreate. I never really use this value thing because I never make websites with it. But look at you can. Oh, I can't zoom in on this. Do you see that you can get the hexadecimal? So later on, when we need to add colors to our website, I have
So
a
you can
very quick reference point to this.
All right, well, give me. But yeah, let's do.
We'll do
do
that
styles
later.
in a
I
bit.
just got
Do styles.
really excited. I didn't know that exists. What a wonderful tool.
So, anyways, so we've got H1, H2, some paragraphs, and a link, which is A, then hypertext reference equals
Okay.
quotation. So, like, another thing that happened. Let's see if I have any. I need to find an image real quick. Let's see. Pictures. All right, here is. This is good. Okay. Okay, so this is corgis.gif, right? So this is an image. So I'm going to do image source, right? So this is the image tag, and then instead of href, because href, this is a reference to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Here I'm going to embed the image, so I need the source of the image. Source equals, and then let's see, what was it? Corgis.gif. GIF. I don't know why I said GIF. I always say GIF.
Oof, because I always say GIF, so I've been poisoning you.
Now this one's a little weird, right? Now you could do it like that, right?
Yeah,
So
I've
that
never seen it like
so let's
that.
let's try it like that, and that should work.
I've always just,
So that works.
yeah.
Let's
How does, but, oh, because this is just on your computer. But if you want to put it out on the internet, don't you have to?
put that in a div to get that.
Uh oh.
Right. Where
You
is
have to
this?
host it on something.
Well, so the nice
I
thing,
always use this.
Imgur.
Yeah.
You can, but the thing is, Imgur
Go on.
could always just tear it down again.
If you want to go back really far, I always used.
Ooh, photo bucket.
Oh, remember those days?
Well, so I just put this up onto the internet,
Oh.
and now
And so it made a new.
yeah, and like I'm hosting my own corgis.gif.
Oh,
I don't
but if
need Imgur anymore.
Well, until you put too many pictures on, and site is like, get out of here.
Yeah, maybe
Too
they'll
much
start
space.
well, they'll charge me,
Oh.
right? So it's free up until a certain point, and once you are overusing Zeit,
Mm-hmm.
then
Or
or
wouldn't
not
they just shut
overusing.
it down and then be
No.
like, give us your
They'll
credit
start-
card info?
Well, if
Do you have to enter your credit card info before?
I'm pretty sure you need to.
Oh, for Zeit. So you
I'm-
have to actually.
I'm sure it depends upon
Uh-huh.
all these different services, but how
Okay.
how hosting typically works is
Mhm.
if there is a free tier, it is up to a certain limit, and
Okay.
past that they'll start charging you,
Mm-hmm.
or they'll shut you down. Right. So you either have to put your credit card so that you are able to pay for it if you go over, or you'll just, or you might get shut down.
I kind of like the idea of being shut down. Like, it's like you get so many visits, and then it's like, sorry, gotta wait till next month.
I mean,
if you want to see this again.
If you go viral, it might be better to
Uh-huh.
have your website shut down and then like have to pay like $400 in hosting fees or something like that.
Oh.
But like I host several websites on
Yeah.
site that are not popular at all,
Uh-huh.
and I pay them like $2 or $3 a month.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's like super awesome.
So it's real. As
Huh.
long as your website is not really popular, it's very cheap.
Oh, so I already have a domain name,
Mm. Yeah, you could port it
but
to
I
Zeit.
could port it to. Oh.
And most likely you will fit inside of their free tier, and
Uh-huh.
you just won't have to pay them anything.
That's wonderful.
Um,
I'm very cheap.
so let's see.
Literally, I could. So if I had a website, I could just put up like some little images like, hi, my name is Megan. Here's all my socials. Go there instead if you want
Yeah.
to see stuff.
Absolutely.
Or email me here. But if I have that domain, it's like a nice little like, oh, want to find me?
Yeah.
Just go to this. It's the easiest.
It's very easy. That's what's very exciting about this.
And
Like,
it could be, yeah, it could be affordable. I was thinking about how much I pay to have that domain name. And yeah.
you still have to pay.
Mm-hmm. I have to pay the
yearly,
domain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so domains are usually like around $10 a year.
Yeah.
So you have
That's
to pay
probably
that.
about.
And then Zeit is free up to a certain amount.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
So I just wanted to do a few more HTML things, right? Just so you can. So like we've done a link,
Yeah.
right, to my actual blog. When I don't know if you noticed this, but when I put the corgis in, let's just refresh over here. You see, these are on the same line.
Yeah, it puts you on a
That's
new line.
that's because I didn't put a paragraph
Oh.
around this
Could also do a BR. What does BR stand for?
break. I think.
Break. But that doesn't add the another actual space in between. It just goes down to the next line.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't use. I feel like breaks aren't really in vogue anymore in HTML.
Oh.
By the way, the thing Megan's talking about is like that.
Yeah. I never add the extra dash. I just do.
Well, see, that's theoretically each tag needs to have a
Should be
closing
like
tag,
should have a close.
right? So for like, but one thing you can do instead
I
of
never add that closing for
instead of
image.
having that closing, you can just put a slash
done that either,
inside
though.
that bracket, right? And that should still work. The other thing, though, when you do an image, it's very important, if people are blind and they can't see it, you can say corgis running, and then one of them trips the others. It's hilarious.
Oh, it is hilarious.
So now people who are using like alternative software to look at web pages have an alt text. Also, Google uses this when it's indexing. So I think if you hover over images, sometimes
I
it'll.
think if you
the alt
hover, it
text.
has to have title equals and then put it in the quotations.
Ooh. All right. Let's try that. Oh, nice. Okay, so title is for
I
hovering.
know some things.
Alt text is for blind people and for other accessibility
Oh,
reasons.
well,
Right.
I just didn't know.
So then, so we've linked out, right? We've got some corgis as an image with a title and some alt text,
Yeah.
right? So, but you can tell like there's this difference between this is the tag and these are sort of like additional information. But then something that you're probably going to want to do at some point is have a style sheet.
Heck yeah.
And so you can do that right in your HTML file, right?
Yeah.
So just put it like this. So like let's say body. Oh, we don't even have a body in here. What's something? Let's make the H1 tags color. What's a good color for text, for the header text?
Let's go with I guess this is a Paul website. What's your favorite color?
Reflex blue.
I don't know what that means. What is
it's like a good kind of a navy blue, but less rich, more of a gray in it.
So number 24.
So hashtag.
Yeah, sorry. 2274A.
All right.
And close that with your semicolon, please. Is it you have to do that, right? Maybe you don't have to.
Oh, wait. What did I do wrong? You should have to do a semicolon.
All right. No, it changed. It's just that it's a dark navy blue, so you can't really tell the difference, I think.
Oh, really?
Let's add a shadow to it. What's your second favorite color?
Wait, is it really blue?
Yes.
Oh, it is blue. Dang. Wait, can we do a lighter blue just so? Wow.
All right. Are you ready for this?
Number
2B3393.
Nice.
There we go.
Did you notice that this part didn't change as much?
I thought it was just I can't even remember what the old one was
So
now. It was
one
just
of
2, right?
These three these are 3 separate numbers that represent R, G, and B. So like I think blue would be it's like that should be actual blue.
Yeah.
And so like these are numbers that go up to FF. So they start at 00 and they go up to FF. There's a lot. The other nice thing is that
I never really put that together before. Oh, you're gonna do your RGBA, eh? Let's see if I know what this is. Oh no, I changed the color. We'll have to go to a different blue.
Okay.
Okay, so 22, 29, 99, and then 1, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You don't want to change the opacity, do you?
Right. RGBA is alpha is 0 to 1.
Is that too dark? I changed back to blue, I guess. But
0.5 is it becomes nice. It fades out. So this is the alpha. Cool. So anyways, so now we can change colors of things.
Nice.
Now, I showed you Mozilla's HTML basics. Mozilla also has CSS basics.
Oh, CSS is much more challenging.
There is so much to CSS.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you are right. HTML can be very, very straightforward
Mm-hmm.
because, in a sense, there's a right answer.
Yeah.
You look up, like, there are some basic tags that you always like wrap, for instance, everything in a body
Mm-hmm.
tag. Um,
Well, that's like,
and then there's like an HTML tag outside of everything. So everything is, and then like if you don't know what to call something, you just put in like a div around things. There's like header tags and there's footer tags and there's article and main and content and stuff like that. But CSS, the world is your oyster,
mm-hmm.
and you can do so many things, and you can learn about the box model. But the nice thing is right, you can copy and paste it.
That is very nice. I
Text
do
shadow.
love a text shadow.
So I just copied that and pasted that from Mozilla. Thank you, Mozilla. And we'll just hit refresh. Nice.
Do you want to? Okay. Here's a fun little hot tip.
Okay.
Okay. Go to the very beginning.
Uh huh.
Uh-huh. And so do 1px. 1px. Let's do another 1px. And then do the no, don't you dare delete that. Hashtag FFF, comma. Now look at it.
There's like two.
3D.
Wow.
Did I teach you something?
Yeah, you did.
If you do the black and the RGBA style, you can change the opacity and make it a little bit
Oh, that's a good idea. Or we could just do like gray.
yeah,
like
and then
CCC or something.
I feel like CECEC would be good too. But you know what?
Look at that. It's beautiful.
Yeah, there we go. A little bit.
The other thing we should definitely we've been doing all this for the H1. Let's do this body.
Ooh.
Font family sans serif.
Well, I guess.
Nice.
All right.
What was the one you were gonna do?
I was gonna say we should do background.
Oh, for the body?
Mm-hmm. So actually do it background dash image.
Ooh.
No, write out the word image, just because I don't know how else to do it. I'm pretty sure. So now, I don't think you need the parentheses. So linear dash gradient. Now I think it's parentheses. So we'll do write the words. We can go to space top. No, to TL. Sorry. Space, not dash. Top, comma, number or hashtag FFF. Comma, hashtag CCC. And then yeah. Let's see if it works. Did it do it?
Wow. I cannot believe you could remember that sort of thing.
I play around on Tumblr so much. Like the layout stuff, you don't even know.
This is such a good website.
Except
You know what? I gotta deploy this real quick because
really
I think the world needs to
genuinely
see
beautiful.
this. Cool new website.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for a second. All right.
Oh, beautiful.
And then I'll just see calculator2.com.
Oh, you went back to your calculator.
Why did it do that?
I don't know. It sensed foreign text.
Oh, there it
it's
is.
like now.
I'll just go alias this real quick. I just want all the visitors of Calculator 2 to see my brand new
Beautiful new website.
beautiful website. Create alias calculator.
I'm really not doing enough drawing.
It's fine. I cannot believe,
there's a lot of stuff going on, I guess.
I cannot believe that you can remember how to do a linear gradient in CSS.
When you do as much messing around on Tumblr as I do, you remember a lot of things. Except for, maybe it's just me, but like the new, I don't know, I'll just say the word engine. like it doesn't let me edit the way it did before. So I used to be able to like, I'm gonna go change my linear gradient on Tumblr. Hoo-hoo. And now it's like, sorry, you're linking to
changed.
things that aren't secure. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure everything is HTTPS.
Well, actually,
So,
that's a feature and a difficulty of HTTPS. One of the things HTTPS ensures is
mm-hmm.
that um, everything's coming from like the same origin.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's coming from the same place. And so if it sees, man, what? There we go. Calculator2.com. Check it out.
Oh, beautiful.
What a great website.
I love it.
So it's so because once you obviously this style sheet could get really out of hand, right?
Yeah.
So something that you can
Get
often
real
do
messy.
is so you put a head in here, right? And then you do link rel equals style sheet. Boy, I've got a cheat sheet over here because I can't remember how to do anything without looking.
That okay.
Type, it's a text / CSS, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it has an href,
mm-hmm.
and that's going to equal, let's call it style.css.
Okay.
And then we'll do that little close bracket thing.
So if I wanted to host like my whole style sheet, if I wanted, I upload all the text file, to like Dropbox or wherever you're.
I don't think
Would it not
Tumblr
do
is
it?
going to let you import that
Tumblr will never let me do anything anymore. You used to have so much fun there.
because that's just really insecure in a sense.
Okay.
Right? Like, what if your style sheet that you hosted in Dropbox has like porn in it? What if it has the word porn in it?
It has the word porn. It has female presenting nipples. Tumblr is really against those now.
So I'm saving this new file of style.css. And I'm importing it into my HTML file. And so if I save this, I've saved that. Now, if I go to here, well, nothing's changed. So we should change something. Let's do. I always use pink in CSS. Oh, that didn't work.
Oh, well, because you have a hashtag.
Hashtag pink. Nice.
Oh, beautiful.
It's like a sunset.
If you do, what's the thing where is it how do you make the background not move so the content of your website moves, but the back it's like background position fixed. It's something like that. Yeah. I can't remember.
That's where I just Google those things. Background position fixed. And then maybe throw in a little MDN. So
it's gonna be
background position.
Top? No. Bottom? No. I think you just write in the word fixed. But I could be so wrong.
Background. So many things you could do with backgrounds.
So many things. You can do all kinds of stuff.
Background attachment.
Oh, maybe it's that. Oh, maybe it's background repeat.
Oh, yeah. Background attachment fixed.
There we go.
All right.
Nice.
Background attachment fixed. I'll just refresh that real quick.
Oof, perfect.
Nice.
There we go. Beautiful.
We've got a big sunset of a website.
Oh, love it. Love it.
So, we're up and running, right?
Yes.
We have some HTML.
Got all of it.
We've got an external style sheet.
Mm-hmm.
But you are going to want some better tools. So what I use is, and here I'll open it. Well, I shouldn't. I use the terminal all the time. Have you seen the terminal, Megan?
I have not seen the terminal. Wait, the movie starring Tom Hanks? I have seen that.
I have.
Hidden masterpiece. I can't remember it at all.
Everything. Let's see. This is on my desktop.
This kind of like your command line.
This is the command line.
Ah.
Right. I've got my cool new website folder, right? I've got my
Mm-hmm.
files here, corgis.gif.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I do, for instance,
Yeah.
when I'm building a website, because I have the command line,
Mm-hmm.
is I can type in serve. This
Serve.
is an application that I've added to my computer
Mm-hmm.
that does serve. Now it
Oh.
serves instead of that file colon or file colon triple slash.
Uh-huh.
I am running now a website locally.
Mm-hmm.
So now every time I make a change, great guy. Every time I make a change to one of these files, I can. I mean, I could have done this before when I was just doing file, but I can hit refresh, right? But there are things that break at some point if you're
Yeah.
doing everything with just the file.
Okay.
Um, but now that you're running like a local web server, it's closer to what it's going to look like when you deploy it.
Oh, okay.
It's not a huge deal, but the other thing I use is there's something called Visual Studio Code.
All right.
So I'm going to make a new tab. And what I do is once I'm in the folder that I want to work with, I type code and then period.
Uh-huh.
So that will open Visual Studio Code.
Okay.
It will have this application open that folder in the Visual Studio Code editor. So now I've got these tabs.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have
Oh, that's so handy.
syntax highlighting. And also
Oh,
check this out.
this is exactly like how Tumblr does it. They well, when you used to be able to use it, I'm really bitter about it because it's a fun hobby.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they highlight everything perfectly, like with different. They color code all the tags and everything. It's really useful.
And then when you hit save, Visual
Mhm.
Studio Code will auto indent everything so you can see how everything's nested. Like body is inside of
That's
HTML,
it's just so clean and pretty.
right? I've got some special things. So, like, I use Vim key binding so I
Uh-huh.
don't have to use the arrow key. There's all sorts. And
Oh,
you can also add extensions. So, like, one I have, like, I'm going to put a main tag, right? Auto.
what's your main tag?
It's just a thing that you can do in HTML. There's all sorts of
Uh-huh.
fun HTML tags. Um, let's see.
Don't delete all your fun stuff. That's your content.
I'm just
Oh.
gonna put that inside of main, right?
Okay.
Um, let's say I picked the wrong.
You have a weird tag that hasn't been closed right there.
Where?
Right there.
This one?
Yeah.
No, that's how you close.
For what? What's it attached to?
Remember that's
Oh.
so you could do sorry, you could do image
Uh-huh.
slash
Oh,
image.
it's the closing for your image.
Or yeah, you can
Oh, okay.
close
I
the
didn't
tag.
realize because it was on the yeah.
But let's say I picked the wrong one. I wanted this to be oh, look at how helpful Visual Studio Code is. The main element represents the main content of the body. So what if I decided, you know what? I meant that to be article. I changed it right there, and it changed it down there too.
Oh.
How nice of them.
That's exactly like Tumblr.
So, but
This
yeah,
it must be the same thing they use then. But they probably still use it.
they're
I just
actually
can't figure out how to make it
there's
work.
what's it?
That's so nice. Look at how wonderful.
So you can
that
put
is.
like a header right up here.
Mm.
Oops. And I don't know, maybe that's where the about Paul should
Uh-huh.
be. Now this
So
is
what
just
about your H1 and everything? Wouldn't you have to change it on your style sheet? Or no?
I don't
Oh,
actually.
it doesn't change anything.
I'll show you some stuff with that real quick. But
Okay.
so that's the header. Oops, I lost my.
You lost your
So
closing tag.
header was red because it knew I hadn't closed something correctly. And then, like, let's say footer copyright 2019 all rights reserved.
Oh no. Oh, so many people are gonna want to steal this.
And then
Is
we hit
something
refresh.
copyrighted just because you say it's
I
copyrighted?
don't know.
I think you need to make that text so much smaller and in serif so people know it's official.
Oh, the copyright should be in serif?
Yeah, it's a
Okay. Well, so let's jump up over
tier
the
stuff.
styles.
Uh-huh.
So now, um, so right now this is in CSS,
Mm-hmm.
right? We learned a little bit about HTML.
Mm-hmm.
CSS, right? You say, I'm going to write some styles that apply to everything inside of this tag,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Body is here. It
Uh-huh.
is almost
It's the
everything.
whole,
Yeah,
yeah.
almost everything is inside of body. So it's going to apply to a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
CSS stands for cascading style sheets, and
Cascading style
the
sheets. Oh,
cascading and the cascade
just like the mountains in our
basically
dear
exactly like
beloved
mountains.
Washington.
The cascade aspect is that CSS has this elaborate system of
More like the
rules
Rockies. So fix that.
where one of the rules is whichever is the most specific
Mm-hmm.
tag wins, right? So let's say I said so you can the font color is color, right? So let's say I say the font color for the body is pink, right?
Uh-huh.
So now if I refresh over here, all
Ew.
this text turned pink,
Uh-huh.
except this didn't turn pink
Because
because it's
for the header.
header one is a more
Ah.
specific definition of color.
There we go.
So that's something to keep in mind. So let's but now we can do so we want all the text to look like this, not like this,
Uh-huh.
except inside of the footer, right?
Okay.
So we could do footer, and then let's see, font family. So this is going to be everything inside of the footer tag. Font family serif, and then font style italic. And then we'll just refresh that. Nice. Look at that beautiful copyright.
Oh, so pretty. You did a great job.
But the nice thing is we have this. What we're doing in HTML by saying like this is the header, this is like the main part of the site, this is the footer.
Mm-hmm.
Like none of these are really describing the look.
Uh-huh.
There's sort of that's called semantic markup. This is just like the logic of or the structure of information on a page, and then you can use the style sheet to make it look basically any way you want. And there's all sorts of crazy things. I mean, you can read CSS basics. You can go find. You were mentioning like CodePen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can go on CodePen and find people who've done like crazy stuff in
Yeah.
CSS. And a lot of times it will be almost all CSS. It will require very little modification to the HTML.
Huh.
So let's find something that's real fun. Let's see, an apple hexicats. This looks pretty cool.
Oh, they're so cute.
All right, so we're gonna pull this up, right? So whoa, there's a lot going on in this HTML. What? That's too much HTML.
Why don't you just make a simple table?
You want a table?
I don't know.
That's very challenging.
Table's not that challenging.
Well, it's not hard to make a table in HTML,
Yeah.
but to make a grid in CSS, there's something called CSS grids.
Oh.
Which, by the way, there's like these fun, like CSS grid. There's like a game to learn CSS grid. Yeah, Grid Garden. This is really great. You can learn how to do page layout by playing through this game. CSSGridGarden.com. There's also there's another method of doing layout called Flexbox Games.
Just want to say, Grid Garden is one of my favorite documentaries.
Oh, really? Is that a documentary?
I-
It just sounds like one.
no,
Is it a real documentary?
there's a documentary called Grey Gardens.
Grey Gardens?
Yeah.
What's it about?
It's like about like I think it's JFK's cousin. That's actually a very, very sad downer documentary about these two women who live like in their own, like they live in a house. It's called Grey Gardens, and they're like, oh my gosh, what is like extremely introverted.
There's lonely.
It's a real downer. I don't know if they're lonely. It's just
Introvert.
I forget what the word, like there's a special word for it and I totally forgot what it is. We can cut all of that out because it just makes me look stupid.
So Grey Gardens.
I've seen Grey Gardens one time. The documentary now parody of it, I have seen like a million times.
Okay. But also CSS Grid Garden and Flexbox Froggy.
Okay. What's
Those are
Flexbox
ways
Froggy?
to do positioning, right?
Oh.
So there's styling, like the aesthetic, but then there's also how everything is positioned on the page. So like to center things, right? I mean,
okay.
every time I want to center something, I always have to Google. So like center with Flexbox. And I just copy and paste it on the internet.
Oh, love that copy and pasting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is like
There's
all
a
the
lot
stuff
to
that
this.
I do not like. If I ever see this on a, because here's the thing about Tumblr, there's like awesome layout code writers who are really good, and then there's people like me who's like, I'm still gonna credit this person obviously because they made the layout, and then I'm just gonna mess around with like all the aesthetics of it and not write anything. It's like, this is all the stuff that they do. And I'm like, better not touch that because I don't know what that is.
Well, so we could go through something. So I want to horizontally center something with Flexbox. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember now. Okay. So here's how we're going to center this. We've got the body, right? We're going to say it's display flex. We're going to align items center. We're going to justify content center. And then we're going to the flex. See, this is why you just got to you got to do Flexbox Froggy to know how this stuff works. I feel like I did. Let's see how far that gets us. Nice. Look, I set up my website.
Oh, good job.
Now the only thing
That looks great.
I could align. I could do text align
and center. Oh no,
well.
don't do that.
Nah,
Ugh, no. It looks much better when it's
okay.
cascading style sheets.
We've done so much. We've made a web page. We made it look beautiful. We put it on the internet. We pointed a domain name at it, right? That's a lot to get done. I just want to show you a little more of this command line stuff because this is how I work. So I want people to. So this is a terminal, right? It's the app is called Terminal on the Mac. Like this is similar to the command prompt on Windows, although the command prompt has slightly different commands. It works. The Mac terminal looks very similar to Linux. So to get around, right? CD.
Okay.
Change directory.
Oh.
Here, I'll close up this just to. By the way, I hit Control C to stop my web server, and now I'm just closing these windows.
But how are you going to copy things? Oh, that's Apple.
That's Command C.
Oh my gosh.
Control C is like the kill command in like Linux and stuff.
Whew.
Okay. To see what files are in the folder that you're at right now,
Mm-hmm.
ls. That's list.
Okay.
So now to go into a folder, you cd, so change directory to dev, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
list, this is all my like development stuff. I have all these different folders in here. Cd dot dot goes back, gets out of something, right?
Uh-huh.
And then cd dot dot, or let's see, we want to do cd desktop because that's where I put this folder. Cd desktop. I did this before. I was just showing you kind of slower.
Yeah.
Cd desktop. Now we're in the desktop list. What do I have in desktop? So cd cool. Now I have spaces in it, so it's kind of hard to type those into the terminal because terminal doesn't like spaces. So you can just tab complete. So I type in cd and I start typing cool, and then I hit tab and it will do the rest of that name of the directory. I hit enter. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the cool new website directory,
Oh,
right?
okay. Oh, that took you so long to get there.
I
Didn't
mean,
really take you that long. I guess you
like,
slowed it down for
yeah,
me.
because like if I was gonna do it normally, I go cd
Uh,
desktop ls cd cool new website. Now I'm here.
okay.
I just did the dot dot to show you, like, if you are
Uh,
in cool new website and you're like, I'm in the wrong folder, you go cd dot dot.
oh.
But now, so cd cool new website, right? I have this serve command
Okay.
that was installed with yarn global add serve. I'll show you yarn in a second. But also I have a now command. So instead of dragging and dropping stuff to now up top, right,
Mm-hmm.
to the site now, I just type in now and it'll warn me
Uh,
about various things. And that does the whole deployment.
and oh, so it just did all of that.
Yeah, it does the same thing as when you drag and drop it, except it did it
Oh.
in the terminal. And then it even copied the URL to my clipboard so I could just paste it into my browser. And then what I do is now alias. Let's see what I've got this. Yeah. Now alias, and then I paste the address that they just deployed to, and then calculator2.com. So I'm
Mm.
saying point calculator2.com at this weird deployment address.
Okay.
So I could do that from the command line as well, which is awesome. And so now calculator 2 points to, so that should all be working. And show me field calculator. This is a problem. This is like caching this all. There we go.
Oh, that's what it is.
I did shift
Mhm.
option refresh it. Let it the right one.
Okay.
So that's so I just want to help you get that set up, right? What you need at some point is to install, basically you need Node, which is, it's a JavaScript thing, and it has npm, which is a JavaScript package manager, and then there's like yarn, which you use instead of npm. So here's how I would install this so that you could have this setting yourself. You go to brew.sh. Brew is a package manager for Mac OS. There are equivalents on Linux and Windows that you can find.
Mm-hmm.
You copy this command into your terminal, right? So you double click it, Command C, make a new terminal window, Command V, right? That is the command you're going to run.
Mm-hmm.
You hit enter, it
Okay.
will flash a whole bunch of stuff because it will do a lot of work, and it will install Homebrew, the package manager. Once you have Homebrew installed, you can do brew install yarn.
Okay.
YARN. And I can show you, here's the yarnpackage.com. Once you have yarn, it's kind of like npm. The nice thing is when you install yarn using Homebrew, it will also install Node for you. So now you'll have everything you need. You've installed Homebrew, and then you typed in brew install yarn, and now you can add applications like serve, for instance. Yarn global add serve, right? Serve is the application I want. I want it globally added. So I type in yarn global ad serve. I put that in. Yarn will probably say you already have
Ah,
it. Yeah, you get all sorts of crazy.
so many.
Yeah,
Oh,
you just have to be
have to
fine
not
with it.
read any of it.
But now I have serve so that when I go into CD desktop / cool new website and I type in serve,
Uh-huh.
that's a new application basically that can work on my computer, and that's how I got that localhost thing. Um,
Oh,
you
that's
could
so
also
much.
you can do yarn um, yarn global ad now,
Uh-huh.
and that's the now where I did that. You know, because remember when I to deploy that website to now, I just typed in now. I was inside the folder where the index.html is, and
Uh-huh.
I just typed now, and that
Uh-huh.
published it. And that's a command line program, just like that serve program. Um, but now
Mm-hmm.
the command line interface should be installed when you install this application in the
Hmm.
first place. So you don't have to get into terminal.
I'm probably not going to.
I
But
like it because
you're
it's how it's where I live, and you can at some point become more efficient. And there are a lot of things in the web design world that will really want you to have Node installed. Like this, always the first step will be, okay, well you obviously have Node now. npm install or yarn add or yarn install, that kind of stuff.
mm,
Um, so when you start seeing that, that's a good sign you're probably going to need the command line.
and this is why people pay other people to design websites for
That's
them.
that's one reason, but there is
Um,
a ton you can do. You can use Visual Studio Code, right? Like
mhm.
I use code and then dot to open whatever folder I'm inside of in
Uh-huh.
Visual Studio Code. But obviously, Visual Studio Code is just a regular application. So if you want to, you can just like um, drag the folder onto the VS Code icon, or do like file open, right? Like
Mhm.
open a project, and then just it's just like it's just the application. It's the thing. It's great. And it's got a lot of extensions, a lot of features to make your life easier as you journey into web development. But I think I mean, that's a lot of information.
It is. But
Is there something we should go over again to like make sure?
I mean, I think I got the basics. The hosting thing was very helpful.
Okay.
First off, knowing free places to host is very interesting to
Mm-hmm.
me for when I make a crappy little website for you to tweet out later. Um, yeah, that's pretty much. I think
And
we
the
got the
fact
basics.
you
I
can
think I
host your own
covered.
images just
Yes.
fine.
Yeah,
That's not a
that's
problem.
news to me.
Okay.
All right.
Well, so now everybody knows how to make websites.
And they know how to make a very, very basic website that probably will not look very good on a phone. I'm gonna go look on
Go
Safari.
check out calculator2.com.
Yeah, on my phone.
I think it's
Which is
gonna look
pointless because it's
great
not
on a
hooked
phone.
up to later
It's really annoying that it keeps on showing me that old version of it.
com.
Oh yeah, this is gonna look so good on a phone.
Well, it is. Oh, it does look great. It is so
Oh,
tiny.
it's so tiny.
Oh man, I can't. Yeah, this
We'll
is hooked
learn
up
how
to
to
my
make
iPad.
like
I want to. Oh, do you
responsive
want to ask me what
websites.
this is? I'm gonna keep working on this
Oh yeah,
one.
what are you drawing?
This is the terminal box and all of the information shining out of it. Should
Terminal's
try.
so cool.
I should try and make it look more like a lament configuration.
I'll have
And
to.
then, like, once you figure out the coding, Cenobites come out. And um,
We'll have to do an episode about the terminal maybe.
I actually want to. Can I unhook this? So I'll stop the recording on this because I feel like the drawings are fine anyway.
Uh huh.
So
Oh, you
stop
just want to show what your phone
Yes.
looks like? Okay.
what it looks like on my phone. Here's what it looks like on my phone.
Um.
Can zoom in.
So, what's annoying about this is, so I've got this pulled up on my web browser. This is like the Firefox's development tools. Firefox thinks it will look like this on a phone.
Well, maybe if I use the Firefox app, it does. but I'm using the Safari app. So does that make a difference?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's pretty annoying.
I kind of like how it's so tiny. It's so
I've
good.
I think I fixed this on my last website. Here's some fun thing to add to your HTML.
I can't remember if I provide the subheader a great guy or was that you?
That was totally me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put this in the head right
I'm
there.
just not gonna reconnect my iPad.
And wait, is your phone still connected?
It was, but now it's not. Should I
Okay.
reconnect it?
Yeah, can you reconnect it real quick? Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to fix it.
Well, Paul, some things are
Okay, I gotta deploy it. Let's see now. And then now alias calculator2.com. Okay, so I hit refresh. You might have to do it a few times, but
There we go.
yeah.
Fixed.
Okay, so what I did
Uh-huh.
was this weird meta information
Oh.
with this like content width equals device width initial scale equals 1. For some reason, that makes phones
in.
not be stupid.
Oh. That's actually very interesting for when I build my own.
Yeah,
That's a really good, that's a hot tip.
Thank you. I learned that when I was making howmanywars.com,
Oh.
one of my favorite websites.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Okay.
It's a very useful one.
Well, so we solved that problem. We're basically professional web
I
developers.
can't stop watching this GIF. That's right. I say GIF.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please leave a comment about, first, a comment that says where your new website is so that we can check it out. And then also how you pronounce words.
It's really important. We need to know.
We must continue fighting about
I
this
would love to.
forever.
I have made a conscious effort to try and start saying GIF, but it wasn't an argument when I was like, in my younger years, it wasn't an argument until somebody told me it was. And I was like, I've been saying it wrong. It's so hard to fix things you've been saying wrong for like 10 years.
It's good. I've been saying it right for 10 years and I just said it wrong today. So.
I know. I promise. I'm going to try so much harder.
Thanks, babe.
To be a better person. To say GIF right. Did it.
Nice.
Just right there.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Megan, thank you for being here, for drawing. I didn't get to see these drawings because I was making websites.
Yeah.
So
you weren't looking at them, paying attention. I did do some
those.
cascading style sheets.
Okay.
It's more like the cascades with random CSS written on it.
That's good. That's fine. That's on theme. All right, everybody. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye.